Jon Mutchler here with pianojon.com, that's pianojon.com, with a short video on how to purchase a used piano. And quite frankly, this is a great time to be looking for a used piano because they are everywhere. People are downsizing, fewer people are interested in acoustic pianos, they're switching to digital, and they're, quite frankly, a lot of great pianos are almost available for free. The hidden cost would be the cost of moving the piano. If it's a small piano, you get 3 or 4 beefy guys, they can load it into a truck, or you may have to hire a piano mover for a larger piano. I've helped to give away some nice grand pianos before, but several $100s went into moving the piano, and then also that initial tuning. When you get a piano that hasn't been tuned in a long time, it must be tuned. Typically, you want to wait a couple, 3 weeks after you've moved the piano to let it acclimate to your room. And if the piano is really out of tune, it might require 2 tunings, an initial tuning, and then the tuner will come back a few weeks later to touch it up. So that can be $150 to $250 as well. So those are some of the hidden costs. And let me say right here, if you have an acoustic piano, don't you dare let it go more than a year without tuning it. The law of entropy will guarantee that your piano will eventually go out of tune. So let's launch right into how to select a piano. First of all, it's like a lot of things. If you can purchase a piano from a friend or a relative, somebody that you know, all the better, because then you'll have a better idea what condition it is. And speaking of the condition of the piano, just looking at it, sometimes you can tell if a piano's been well cared for or if it's in need of a lot of love. And if your piano doesn't need a lot of love, it can be quite expensive. We're going to use this piano here. An old neighbor of mine was getting rid of it, and they gave it to me, and I'll loan it out to piano students. It's a nice Yamaha piano. And let's start with something real basic. How old is the piano? And how old of a piano should you get? That's a difficult question, but if you can keep the age of your piano within 30 years, that would be good and wise. They get older, again, the law of entropy, things start to wear out, and they can be rather expensive to repair. And by the way, I'll just mention quickly that there are some piano tuners in the area. You can look them up. That would probably, for a small fee, would take a look at a piano for you that you're thinking about purchasing. But hopefully this video will help you make that decision on your own. So regarding the age and date of the piano, you can find that out. Nearly every piano has stamped on it somewhere a serial number. I looked in this piano, it happens to be underneath where my legs go, and I've pulled off the cover. It's behind me against the wall there. It comes off very easily on every piano. You can get under the piano and pull off the cover, and you will find either down there on the metal plate or on the soundboard itself a stamp with a number of numbers and letters on it. That is, of course, the serial number of this particular piano. Sometimes they're inside up here. We'll lift this up. We'll lift this off in a minute to show you how you can get inside there. Take that number, write it down accurately, or ask the person who's selling the piano just to take a picture of it, and we'll probably do that in this video. And Google serial number piano, the name of the brand of the piano. This happens to be a Yamaha, and there likely will be a place where you can type in that number and it will tell you when the piano was built. Also, while you're inside the piano, it's important to look around for critters. Critters like nice, dark, warm places to live and thrive. And on more than one occasion, I've opened up a piano to find an abandoned, fortunately, rat's nest. So you want to look inside the piano. It's not likely you'll find something, but it's a cautionary tale to take a look inside. Underneath where the legs are, pull off that plate. Look in the back, in the various openings in the piano, and then also in the front. In fact, let's go ahead and take off the top of the piano. It's not that hard to do. You open up the lid, push it back like that, make sure it's not going to fall. And there are some latches on each side here, easy to find, and this usually just pulls out. There we go. We'll set it down. So now we can look inside the piano, look to see if there's anything strange looking in there, anything growing in there, anything thriving in there, and also just to notice if anything is broken. You should see a bunch of wool felt hammers. They're right here, and there should be one for every note, okay? This one, of course, has all those hammers, but if they're broken, they can be fixed. That's a fixable problem, but you want to be aware of that ahead of time. Now, importantly, we want to find out if every note works. This is extremely easy to do, but oftentimes forgotten. We're going to play each note. When you press the key down, it should make a sound. And importantly, when you release the key, the sound should stop. If it doesn't stop playing, if it continues to ring even after lifting up your finger, there's going to be a mechanical problem that's going to need to be addressed. So just one at a time, work your way up the keyboard. And just to make sure every key works. Now, if it doesn't work, if no sound comes out, that will mean probably either a broken string, but much more likely a broken hammer. You'll also want to notice if anything sticks, if the key stays down once you pressed it, that's not very good as well. It should come right back up. Related to the keys, they should have all their plastic covers. So often, at least all too often, older pianos that have not been cared for, people, usually children, have peeled off the plastic. They've lifted here and taken out the plastic, so you don't have a piece of plastic on every key. It's important as students get better that every key has a plastic, or in the old days, believe it or not, ivory, but that is extremely rare now and you certainly can't replace that. Every key should be covered, okay? It shouldn't be bare wood. If it is, that can be a little bit costly to fix. Every black key should exist. Sometimes they're broken and you don't have a black key that works, but that's a basic thing. 88 keys, they should all play. They should all quit playing when you release the key, and they should not be stuck. Now, we're going to talk about pedals. Pianos will have 1, 2, or 3 pedals. Usually 2 or 3. We are not going to worry about pedal number 1 and pedal number 2. The only pedal we're concerned about is the pedal furthest to the right, okay? The one furthest to the high end of the piano, the right side of the piano. It does something very simple. It pulls off all the dampers, all of the pads that stop the notes from ringing, pulls them off so that those notes will continue to sustain. I'll show you real quickly. The furthest right pedal, my foot's on it right now. Normally the right foot would be on it, but in this video I've got my left foot on it. So I'm going to play a chord. We let go and the notes stop. Beautiful, perfectly. Another chord. And the notes stop when I release the keys. But if I push the pedal down, push down the chord, and the notes will continue to resonate until I lift my foot. That needs to work. Again, play the chord with the pedal down. Lift up my hands. You could actually add notes. But once I lift the pedal, those notes should stop ringing. If that does not happen, that is a fixable problem, but something you want to be aware of. Now, regarding tuning and the sound of the piano, more than likely the piano you're looking at is out of tune. Pianos go out of tune the very second after they're tuned. It's, again, the second law of thermodynamics, the law of entropy. The strings stretch, the condition of the room changes, the wood it absorbs moisture, expels moisture, changes size. Pianos always go out of tune. And they should be tuned each year. So I wouldn't worry so much if it's not in tune when you first purchase it. That would be expected. But you do want to make sure that all the strings are there. And it can be a bit deceptive because in the high notes of the piano, there are actually 3 strings that make up each note. If you play a note and look at what the hammer is hitting, it's hitting 3 strings. So 1 string might be broken, or 2 strings may be broken, as can happen, and you'll still get a sound. So just look at the strings across the piano. They're in groups of 3. If you look carefully, right where the hammers are. And if not, you may have broken strings. Toward the bottom of the piano, there'll be 2 strings, and the lowest part of the piano, where the big fat strings are, only 1 string. So first of all, you can play every note, and if one note sounds especially weak or quiet, it may mean that 1 or 2 of its 3 strings are broken. So just keep that in mind. That is a fixable problem, but it's going to cost a technician a little bit of time. So I think we covered buying a used piano. Make sure it has 88 keys. There are a few pianos that have fewer keys than that. It's a great investment to have. Occasionally you might come across a terrific grand piano, but as with everything, be careful, be cautious. It may be worth spending $100 or a couple $100 to hire a professional technician to take a look at a piano first. I've done that just in case it is a big purchase. Your main cost, besides the cost of the piano, which is sometimes free, would be the cost of moving it. And again, the cost of a tuning, absolutely, you need to tune it, $150, $200, and any repairs that might go along with it. So thank you for watching, and I hope that is helpful to you.